Welcome to ZAPTEST Tutorials. In this tutorial, we will show you how to create a test that includes API and UI related steps. During this lesson, you will learn how to use an iteration as an index for an array element, how to create and use a dynamic path for an API response, and how to combine API calls and UI steps in one test. In the tutorial exercises, we will be using demo web services provided by ZAPTEST for educational purposes. The server's address is displayed here. We will start by defining a new API server object. Here we will type the name of the server's object, the demo API server's URL, and select the checkbox to load the WSDL data. Next, we will select the getTestAccounts API method and drag it to the step view. This method returns an array of test user accounts. For the operation, we will select Execute. To retrieve a username from the server's response, we need to provide a path. In addition, we need to use the data table iteration number as an index in the path. We will use the ZAP utility object to get the iteration number and save it to a variable. Next, we will use the ZAP utility object and string concat method to create the path string. And we will use another string concat step to complete the path composition. Now we will use the path string to extract the username value. To define a step for this, we will drag the local variable item, type a name for the variable, drag the method from the API Explorer, select the getMemberResponse operation, and use the path variable for its argument. We will add a custom report step to output the username value to the test results. Now we can save our test and run it. Once the test run is complete, we will open the test results and verify the username value. We will use the username for login to the ZAPTEST website. Next, we will add steps to perform the login. We will start by using the GUI scan to scan a browser window with the ZAPTEST homepage. On this view, we will select and keep two objects for the ZAPTEST logo and the login link. Next, we will scan the login page. On this view, we will keep objects required for the username and password entry. We can change names for the edit field objects. Next, we will scan the user zone page. On this view, we will select and keep the object for the welcome message. Once we have all these objects, we will add steps to our test. We will use the ZAP application object and the launch method. For its first argument, we will define a new data table parameter for browser type. For the second argument, we will type the ZAPTEST website address. Next, we will add steps to validate the home page. Click the login link and validate the login page. For the username type step, we will use our username variable. In the password type step, we will include enter keyword to submit the login form. After a login, we need to validate a welcome greeting, which includes a dynamic username. To make its text, we need to concatenate two strings, welcome and the username. For this, we will drag the ZAP utility object and select the string concat method. We will type welcome in its first argument and use username variable for its second argument. For the output parameter, we will use a new variable, welcome text. We will use the welcome object and set property method to update its text property value from the variable. In the last step, we will use the welcome object and the exist method to validate it. Before running this test, we will navigate to the data table and add 2 rows to the browser parameter for Chrome and Internet Explorer. This will make our test run 3 iterations on different browsers. Our test is ready. We will save and run it after closing any open browser windows. After the test run is finished, we will open the test results and verify that all the steps have a passed status. Also, different test user accounts must be used in different iterations. In this tutorial lesson, you have learned how to use an iteration to extract an array element, how to use a dynamic path to parse an API response, and how to combine API and UI-related steps in the same test. Thank you for using ZAPTEST.